Hello, everybody. We are the Geeks and the Giants, and this week our official countdown to the new Kong and Godzilla movie begins with this week, where we're focusing on the big lizard himself, Godzilla. Do you
Wait,
not know?
hold on. No, because I knew that the theme is. I knew the theme is. Oh, we're building up to a Godzilla themed shit.
Yeah.
But I thought it was -1.
Ah. Oh, you add that for. We might as well it out yet for us. I don't know.
Because I really thought we were going with -1. Because I won't fucking watch that movie. I don't want to watch a new fucking Kong and Godzilla movie.
You never know. It could be nice. I mean, we don't have to watch it, but in honor of Godzilla and Kong being on the screen for so long, we're doing this.
Okay. I got hyped up for this week for no fucking reason.
I will do it once it comes out on like a digital platforms. So yeah, there's that.
I guess. Yeah. I don't know why they won't release it yet.
I know, right? But anyway, we're starting with, will I say, one of the worst monster movies I've seen ever.
Okay, nah. I won't say it's the worst. I'm
Not
gonna
the
say
worst, but in terms of Godzilla's history, especially
Yes.
American versions, it's pretty bad.
I agree with that. It is a horrible Godzilla movie, but is it the worst monster movie? I don't.
Yeah.
But yeah, come on, man. Like going into it, it's our childhood. We came from Jurassic Park, and we're like, we want to see more big lizards, and this was our first ever Godzilla movie. Shame of us to admit it. This is me and Enzo's first Godzilla movie.
Yeah, we were born around the late 90s to 2000s, early 2000s, and this was our introduction, and so was the rest of the world's introduction to an American Godzilla, because most Godzilla movies came out in Japan from Toho, and I don't think they really did international releases, unlike this one. But yeah, everybody was excited for this one. And I think, yeah, Toho had a say of like what Godzilla should be, but at the end they were like, yeah, let's not do that again.
No, which is a little toughy, which we might discuss in this review. We might not. I don't know. But yeah, I could see why Toho might be a tad bit upset.
But yeah, this is directed by Roland Emmerich, who did Independence Day. I think this movie had multiple revisions. Like, it was supposed to be a serious movie at first, and then they were like, let's make it campy, and then they made it too. Would I call this campy? Kind of.
Ish.
Yeah.
Ish. Like the French guy is a little bit campy. I like him though.
Yeah, Leon the Professional is here.
Yeah.
And the main star is Matthew Broderick, and you're like, that's a interesting choice for a leading man for a kaiju movie, to be honest.
Which I don't mind, because... Okay, dude, you gotta admit. You have to admit. They did, like, the human characters way better here than 2014 Godzilla. And, like... Sorry, you gotta say this. Shin Godzilla. Dude, come on. You gotta Nick the Topoulos. You didn't root for the guy like, yeah,
Not
you're the
really.
radioactive guy. Go find that big lizard.
Not really. Because
Oh,
it follows
okay.
the 90s
Fuck
theme. Follows the 90s thing of like, nerd becomes unexpected hero. You're like, okay. Some movies
Yeah,
are
I
better
like
than
that.
others, like Jeff.
Yeah, he's an underdog.
Yeah, like let's say Jeff Goldblum in like Independence Day. But like here, I'm just like, I just don't care about the characters. Like I don't care about the characters. I don't care about the monster, which is impressive because you're like, this is about a massive dinosaur-like lizard going across New York, and the one thing is coming through my mind while watching this movie again. It's like I don't care about anything that's happening.
Yeah, look, we're not gonna go through this like in chronological order. I think we're just gonna talk about the highlights. But yeah, that is the difference between Toho's and America's like Godzilla. Is that for some reason Godzilla here is very elusive and like it goes through the city sneakily. I don't know how. While Godzilla just like stands there and like walks slowly and just like just hits a building.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
he has a presence. Well, this one seemed more animal
Yeah, literally
Like,
behaves like an iguana on the run, which it is. It's a mutated iguana, and you're like, interesting.
yeah,
Sure.
yeah,
I'm
and go on.
not the biggest fan of the redesign too. Godzilla.
Oh, this shit was horrible. But when I was a kid, this was awesome.
Yeah.
Like, because it looked like a dinosaur. I didn't know what Godzilla was supposed to look like at the time.
Yeah,
I was
same
like,
here.
yes. I was like, yes. Okay. It's a horrible Godzilla. Same as the other situation. It's a horrible Godzilla, but it's not a bad monster design.
No, it's not. If they didn't call this Godzilla, it'd be like,
You
alright.
would have been okay with it, right?
Yeah. Like, oh, it's
Right,
like a
that's what
massive
that's what I
radioactive
like.
dinosaur.
I don't know why I'm defending this fucking movie, but like,
Yeah,
because I rewatched it for this fucking review, and I was like, I took out the whole concept of like, this is a horrible Godzilla movie. I was like, what if you just saw it as a monster movie? It's a great monster movie because the setup, the build up for Godzilla, it takes a while.
Yeah.
Like Nick Tatopoulos gets, recruited from when he was like doing work in Ukraine, and then they're like, "Oh, we need you to like look at this specimen." It was like, "Where's the specimen? You're stepping on it." And you have this huge giant footprint.
Yeah.
How scary is that? And then this thing pops out of nowhere, goes through a rampage and scares a shit ton of people in New York, and then disappears. And we were like, "How the fuck does that thing disappear?"
Yeah.
And they explained like it's going through the tunnel system and shit. And I was like, "That's freaky."
I think it was Honest Trailers that said like, I think the U.S. military is the cause of most of the destruction of New York than Godzilla.
Oh, that yeah. Like they launch missiles at it, and it like moves to the side and like hits like a customs building or something.
Yeah. And you're just like, fuck, that's a problem. I think they hit like the Chrysler building, and you're like, well, that's a shame.
They blew it up.
Yeah. It just tops over.
Yeah.
And then,
Dude, like remember that scene where the helicopters were chasing Godzilla? And shit was kind of intense. Like again, how the fuck does this thing hide in the city?
right? It's just
And
like,
then you see it like climb up the Empire State Building and it roars, and I was like, kinda cool.
there's some moments where the CGI, I'm like, that's pretty cool. Other moments where like when its foot comes down, I'm like, wow, that's very noticeable.
Oh yeah, that was horrible. As a kid, again, I it's very nostalgic. Like seeing that, I was like, oh, I was like, that was like a scariest moment of me. I was like, I don't ever want to be stepped on by a giant lizard.
That makes, yeah, definitely. What else is there? Like, I know, like even the effects for the baby Godzillas, I'm like, that's pretty impressive. It's pretty cool to see.
Because the majority of them were practical. I was like, that's kind of cool. And you get like this slight Velociraptor scene. Not a fan of Godzilla having babies. I kind of like it. Like it's not like an invasive species. No, Godzilla is just its own fucking thing.
Yeah.
And it lived all throughout its life just being alone.
Yeah. But like, yeah, that scene was pretty cool. Like, I mean, the effects were cool, but like, I'm just like, wow, they're really trying to be Jurassic Park just with Godzilla at this point.
Yeah. But then again, it's just kind of freaky.
Yeah, seeing multiple Godzillas, like, if you guys were like more like the Toho version, that might be terrifying to see. Just like all these miniature, upright, big hatchlings.
Velociraptor looking at shit.
Yeah, walking.
They all have. By the way, this Godzilla doesn't have the atomic breath.
bread. It has fire breath for some reason. You're like, that's kind of lame, to be honest.
No, it doesn't. Because I remember, like, it was just a blockade of like vehicles, and one of them was like
On fire.
a gasoline truck.
Oh.
So when it roared and it kind of made the thing topple over, it kind of blew up.
Yeah, man, that chase scene was like, again, it just reinforces me being like, I just don't care about these characters, except for Leon. Like when like the guy is freaking out in the taxi and Leon's like, "Can you please shut up?" I'm like, "Yeah, can you please shut up?" I agree with this man.
I do like it that the I didn't notice the story behind why they're there. I always wondered, it's like, why the French in this movie?
Right?
They did tests in, the Polynesian islands.
Uh, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
the French Polynesian islands, and you're like, France owns that, and they're like, hey, this is kind of our fault.
Yeah.
Can you go over there and fix it? And like make sure it doesn't look like our fault?
Yes, please. I think the French guy is my favorite character of this whole movie because again, he's just so cliche French that I'm like, oh, I like this guy.
Yeah,
Also
he
helps
doesn't
that
like the coffee.
Yeah. Also helps that like since this is part of our childhood, he was also in Pink Panther.
Pink Panther.
Yes,
Yeah.
the serious guy next to Steve Martin's Pink Panther.
Yeah.
Did you notice the dig at Siskel and Ebert, the mayor and his assistant?
What were they?
Yeah, Mayor Ebert and his assistant. I think his name's also the same names.
Why?
Because I think I read somewhere that they were harsh on Independence Day, so Roland Emmerich snuck this reference in just like a dig against them.
Hey.
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't know that. Well,
They-
to be honest, I don't really remember much about Independence Day.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've seen it too. But yeah, there's not really much to talk about this movie outside like there's not really much memorable moments for me aside from like Godzilla eating a shit ton of fish. I'm like, I guess he does that. Okay.
Yeah. Like, I mean, you gotta have a point. I do like the concept of like a very elusive giant lizard in New York City. You're like, what the fuck is it? Like everybody's just looking around where you're like, you can't miss this guy.
But somehow
And then
you do.
you do, and we're like, that makes me a bit uncomfortable. And then it like starts laying eggs around. That's kind of freaky.
Yeah.
If only it wasn't named Godzilla,
Right?
it would have been a really good monster movie with characters that are kind of subpar, except for the French guy.
And like I'm sure this poor actress has heard multiple comments on her acting, but like the girlfriend's acting is not the best either. You're like, you're trying. Much.
Yeah, no, it's not
Yeah.
the best.
Yeah. But yeah, Godzilla just get taken out by jets, by missiles. Honestly, when that happened, watching this now, I'm like, well, bitch.
Yeah. Like while the other Godzillas would take a nuke to the face and
Yeah.
just like brush it off.
Yeah, like the next one we're about to do.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, again, I can't really think of anything to say other than that. It's a pretty, for a Godzilla
Man.
movie, it's a pretty lame Godzilla entry. For even if it wasn't called Godzilla, it's still kind of average. Like, it's alright. Again, it's impressive that they make a movie about a gigantic radioactive iguana, and half the time I'm just like looking at the microphone in
Your
front of me.
watch?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or like I'm just scrolling, like fixing my files for class. I'm just like, this can just be background noise for now. So I've
Yeah.
heard this movie a lot. It kept showing in like HBO Star movies for a time, and I'm like, I remember that. It's from my childhood. And then better Godzilla movies happened, and I'm like, oh, okay, it's a
I
lame
can
one.
do better.
Yeah, I can have better taste. Thank God.
It's like us getting out of high school.
Right, yeah. Yeah, with regards to a lot of things. But yeah, anything else to add? Because I really am stretching at this point.
Oh no, I'm done. There, I'll do you a favor. I'm done.
What would you rate Godzilla 1998?
I'll give Godzilla like a 4.5 out of 10. Like it's almost average, but like nothing to write home about. Like you're not like wow. 'Cause, again, we know what Godzilla is now.
Yeah.
Unlike when we were kids, where we're like, we'll accept anything that media kind of throws at us. Here we're like, that is not Godzilla. That is a giant monster. I like the concept. I like how they did the monster. But that is not Godzilla. It's like saying, like, yeah, it's kind of just saying like Godzilla, but then you made him into a Velociraptor. You're like, that's not Godzilla.
right?
No. Doesn't matter if you slap the name on it and you made it big. That is
Yeah,
not our Godzilla.
I know a lot of Godzilla fans just call this Zilla because it's not even godlike. So what's the point?
Oh yeah, because like when you get decimated by some like jets, like you ain't on that kaiju like list.
Yeah,
Like I do like a good malnutrition like giant monster,
yeah,
like the one in Cloverfield, but that one took a nuke,
right.
survived. This one kind of just like, oh, I stuck my head out for a bit and I'm out.
Yeah. What would I rate this? I would give this a 3 out of 10. Nothing I'll ever watch again. I only did this for this
Bullshit.
channel. No, I won't. I don't wanna. Like, it took me like almost a day to watch this. I'm like, oh god, why?
You're just
Like,
very reluctant. Just
yeah,
like, I don't want to put it on.
yeah. I'm like, oh god, I still have like an hour left. God, why? But nah, is it again? Is it the worst monster movie? No. Like in terms of like American Godzilla releases, again, pretty bad. Um, and there's not much good I can say about it. Like, is the acting spectacular? Not really. I mean, that's not saying much for Godzilla movies, recent Godzilla movies, but at least some characters stick out in terms of performance, like Bryan Cranston. Like, wow, that's a pretty good performance for a monster movie. Or like, forgot the actor's name, the Japanese actor in 2014 to like King of Monsters Godzilla.
No, not here.
Ken Watanabe.
And Watanabe.
Yeah,
He's
the
Let them fight.
Yeah, exactly. Let them fight. Is the CGI great? No, no. Do I? Will
It's
I?
okay.
Will
They're still playing with that whole like CGI, but do it at dark, at nighttime.
Yeah. Will I remember this ever? Probably not. It's just I know it exists, but like I don't think I'll ever remember this for a while. But yeah, yeah. So yeah, 3 out of 10, 4 out of 10. It's a pretty alright movie in our books.
No, it's not. It's below average. What are you talking
It's
about?
Sorry, it's a pretty. It makes nice background music. I'll be honest.
I guess like when it's like Christmas, but you kind of just want you don't want the awkward silence of Christmas.
Yeah.
Put it on the back.
And you're like, wow, Star Movies is showing Godzilla '98. Okay, well let's watch that. I don't even know.
Star Wars doesn't exist anymore.
It doesn't. Shit.
No, it doesn't.
Fuck 'em.
Did that? Like I feel like HBO on cable is like on its last leg.
It's still on cable? I'm surprised that's still on cable.
Yeah, it's still on cable. A lot of shit ain't on cable no more. Cartoon Network's kind of gone. Well, it's gone. Nickelodeon's like getting there. Disney, I don't think is there anymore.
That makes sense because it's all in the net. But yeah, that's been our video for Zilla '98. What do you guys think? Comment below. What's your favorite Godzilla movie? Whether it be from America or from Japan, comment down below. And like if you want us to do other Godzilla movies from Toho, why not? We'll be happy to do those. But yeah, if you like our videos, please leave them a like, subscribe, and ding the bell icon to get notified of when we upload next. We're also on YouTube, and we're obviously YouTube. We're also on Spotify and TikTok. TikTok to see your best and funniest moments. Spotify to hear us on the go. I am Zoda's Voices individually on TikTok. So if you want to see me do voice impressions, just follow me in a link down below. Where can they find you?
No, I'm kidding. You can find me at JohnJu _ on Instagram. It is my article.
And until the next Zilla-centered video, we'll see you then. Bye, everybody.
Ciao.